Good afternoon, crafters, crafty ladies. It's Christmas time, and that means time to make ornaments and listen to Christmas music and drink coffee all day or hot chocolate. This is Georgia, and for some crazy reason, it is like cold outside here on December the 8th. I mean, really cold. I can't get the house warm enough. So, today I'm going to show you how to make the Scandinavian folded star Christmas ornament out of paper. Normally these are made out of fabric. All quilters pretty much know how to make these. I made them with my mother-in-law many years ago. And a few Christmases ago I made it with all the cousins and sisters-in-laws for Christmas. We had craft day and we made the folded star ornament. Well, I made some out of paper and gave them to a friend of mine on Crafty Lady Day as hostess. And my other friend, Mary, said, "How do you make those?" And I said, "Well, it's just made out of paper. It's the folded star like you do with fabric." She said, "Well, I've never made those." So normally they are made out of fabric. And you take a 4-inch piece of fabric, you starch them, iron them. They're about 16 inches long. You fold them in half, and then you fold them into themselves so that you got a folded edge 1-inch piece of fabric with no raw edges showing. But today we're going to actually make them out of paper. So what you need, the process is the same. The folding is all the same. All that part is the same. It's just instead of fabric, we're going to use paper. You need paper that is good quality. I'm going to use Stampin' Up paper today. It needs to be two-sided unless you actually want it to be white on one side. But it needs to be a good quality paper that will not tear or, when you fold it, it won't crack. Because if it does, then you're going to have to put some ink on it or something. But you're going to need 4 strips, 1 inch apiece, and a sheet of Stampin' Up or designer paper from one of the other paper houses like 12 by 12 cardstock or from Graphics 45, some sort of really pretty paper. It doesn't have to be Christmas. If you just want red and green, then yes, you might want to use Christmas paper. But I'm going to demonstrate it today on this older version of Stampin' Up's, I think they used to call this watercolor. It looks, because one side looks like it's been poured on with paint and water, and the other side is just a stencil. So you're going to need 4 strips, and I use a guillotine paper trimmer. You cannot, the sliding type just is not going to give you a crisp, perfect cut. So I use my guillotine type slicer, and you're just going to slice, because they're 12 inches long, you're going to slice 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 4 1-inch pieces. And so that means out of 1 piece of double-sided Stampin' Up paper, you can make 3 ornaments. So what we want to do first, this is what they're going to look like. You can need some little thread to hang it, punch a hole and hang it this way, or you can punch it down here and hang it in the middle. And you can embellish them and decorate them and put all kinds of stuff on there. I made some and I put bows in the middle. So you're going to have 4 strips, and I'm going to use my grid here as a way to show you. It might make it easier for you to actually see the process. So however wide your paper is, because you can make these 1.5 inches, you can make them a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch if you want to make smaller ones. And you really can't make bigger than 1 inch on paper because, it takes the whole 12 inches. So if you wanted to make them wider, it might make it a little difficult to get it all tucked in properly. So you're going to take your paper, and this is 1 inch. So you want the paper not folded like right in the middle. You want it folded whatever the thickness is, the width of the paper, times 2 from this edge. So I'm just going to lay it right here, and that's the 2-inch mark. So I'm going to fold this up, and that's where my fold line is going to be. So I have a piece of paper now that's folded just like that, 2 inches from one end, which means that it's a 10-inch piece of paper folded in half, so 5 and 5. So there's our strip folded in half. I'm going to do that with all of them. And these 2, I'm going to fold with the print side out, just like that. And these 2, I'm going to fold with the print side in. This would be like having If you were doing it with fabric, of course, you'd have 2 separate pieces of fabric to give you the 2 different colors of the star. Okay, there's our pieces. Just like that. There's 2, like that, 2. Now, what we want to do is you're going to take, it doesn't matter which ones you start with, but you're going to take the 2 opposites, or the 2 pieces that are alike, and place them opposite of each other like this. Fold, fold. You're going to take these 2 pieces and you're going to put tail up, tail down. Fold, fold, just like that. Now, we want to put these together. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take this piece and we're going to take its tails and we're going to stick it up inside of this one's fold, just like that. Then you're going to take these 2 tails and put them inside this fold, just like that. Now, as you can see, you probably can tell what's going to happen next. These tails are going to go inside this fold, and then these tails go inside of the fold down here that we already have stuck, just like that. So you end up with this. Here's a fold with the 2 tails coming through this fold. Here's a fold with these 2 tails coming through that, so that it goes all the way around, just like that. Tails go in folds, folds go in with tails inside. And you're just going to take this and you're going to just keep squishing it up, squishing it up, squishing it up until you've got a little checkerboard right in the middle, just like that. And you're going to pull it as snug as you can. Don't tear your paper. Don't get rowdy. Just gently tug and have your nice checkerboard in the middle so that you have this. Short tail on top, short tail on top, short tail on top, short tail on top. Now we're going to flip it over. Now our long tails are on the top. We're going to make sure our little square's nice and tight. Get them all pulled snugly. Just like so. And don't put, some people say, well, can't you just go ahead and put glue there? No, because we gotta have an opening to tuck stuff in. Now we're going to take the long tail up here at 12 o'clock and we're going to fold it down. We're going to take the long tail over here at 9 o'clock and we're going to fold it over on top of the 12 o'clock piece. Then we're going to go down here to 6 o'clock and we're going to pick up the long tail and fold it over the 9 o'clock piece. And then go over here to 3 o'clock and fold it over the 6 o'clock piece. Now, you see we have a little issue here because we need to take this piece and somehow it's got to get under this tail that we've already laid down right here. So all I'm going to do is just push that up, just like that. See how I've made a little loop, pushed it up, so that I can take this tail and stick it in there. Now, pull this tail back down. Just like that. Pull this one over, pull that down snugly, pull that snug, snug, snug. Everything's nice and tight and all nice and folded. Now, we're ready to make our points. So we're going to take our piece and everywhere that a tail was stuck in, like right here, there's a pocket. There's a pocket. There's a pocket. There's a pocket right there. So our star, our little points get folded into that pocket. So each corner, as you can see here, this is how we're going to do it, right? Like it looks like this. So these 2 right here, these 2 pieces will be the same color, these same color, these same color, these same color. Goes just like this. So we're going to start with this piece up here at the top. Here's its pocket. And this piece is going to be this printed side of the paper. Not the orangey side, but the watercolored side. So we're going to take it and we want to fold it under, just like that. So that our point, you can line it all up right there just like this so you can get it right on the diagonal. Our points all get folded away from the center. Okay, now this piece gets folded down. And you don't have to use a bone folder for this. You can just use your finger. You don't want really hard edges. You want it to be kind of rounded like. Okay, this is going to get folded over here in half, just like that. Now we got this little tail to deal with. This little tail goes in this little pocket. Well, right now this is not attached, so it can actually be pushed up. You can just push this up like that, so that when you fold this over, you can just tuck that in right there, down right inside that little pocket. See, it's just gonna go right inside of there. And then you pull this down on top, so that that's all tucked into that little pocket, and that's nice and folded. Okay, now we're gonna go to this one. Well, this point's gonna be the same color as this point. So I know that it can't be this orange side out, because it needs to be this color. So it's going to be folded away from the center. So it folds this way. And there's our matching color. I'm going to flip it over just to make it easier on me to fold and find my little pocket. You're going to fold this down. Now this little tab, sometimes it comes out just right and sometimes it doesn't. See, this one's a little bit long. I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that off, because it's not necessary for it to be there in the first place. It's going to be hidden. And I'm going to fold this in half now, make my little point, just like that. Now, this has got to get into this pocket. Again, this tail is loose, so I can take this and push it up, fold this over, and stick it in there, just like that. And just gently pull that back down. Now, there's our first corner made. Easy peasy. We're just going to continue around this way. So this one is going to be orange, because it's not going to be this print, because these two are the print and these two will be the print. So up next to it is going to be the solid one. So I'm going to fold it under, away from the center, away from this being the center, the checkerboard center, right there. Fold that down, fold this in. Just put your, if you're having trouble making a nice little point there, you can use a straight edge there if you need to, or something like that. But, you know, it's not an exact art. It's folded paper. So now you say, uh-oh, how am I going to get this tail in here? I can't pull that up because this already tucked, it's all together. So what I do to make it easier to tuck it in is I take my scissors, and I start right about here, like maybe a 1/4 of an inch down or more, and just start and kind of just do like this and just trim off that paper just a little bit rounded like that. And all that does, it makes it easier to just, you twist the paper like this. I'm putting my finger there and twisting till I get it twisted that this little tip is going to get into that pocket. And once it's in that pocket, you can just push it gently in there just like that. And ta-da, it's all down, okay? Now, as you put these pieces in, you can glue it as you go. I'm going to wait and glue it when I'm finished. This is the pocket. That one had the pocket on this side. This one has the pocket on this side, like every other one has the pocket. So, now, I know this one's going to be orange, so it's got to be folded away from the center, just like that. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to fold it down, lining it up with all my other squares and triangles, and fold it gently in. And then this one's going to get tucked in. Now, this one still has a tail that I can loosen and pull up, so I'm going to do it. On any of those I can do that, I'm going to do it because it's just easier to do it without having to trim anything. Okay, so now we've got our first two corners. Here's the printed one and the solid one. Now we're ready to do this one. It's going to be printed just like this side. So it gets folded under, just like this. I'll turn it up so you can be right side up. Right, just like that. Folded triangle. Fold this down to make your point, just like that. Fold it in half, and this gets tucked in. Now, again, I don't have any way to get that tucked in because this is all folded up. So I'm going to take my scissor. I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch down from where that is and just round that off, just like that. If you need to see that's rounded. So then when I just twist the paper, be very gentle, and I just want to get that little tip going and get it into that slit. If I can get it in that pocket, all I got to do is just push it gently. Just work it like that, and it'll go in there. Just like so. Now, this one's going to be a print. and it gets folded away from the center. So it gets folded this way. Flip it over, fold it down, crisp that up, fold it to the middle in half. And then, yay, I got a tab sticking out so I can push this piece up, fold this over, and stick it in there. Just like that, and pull this gently down. Now, there's 3 of our points done. This is, go back to the right side. I call it the right side when it's where I started. So we got 2 of these, and we've got 1 of these. So this one's gonna be orange. Let's turn it like this. So we know it's gonna be orange. You know it gets folded away from the center. So this gets folded down, folded over in half to the point, and then take the point and fold the triangle in half. Now, again, I'm going to have to trim this to make it go down into that pocket area. I'm going to trim that off, just curved like that, and then I get it started and just gently push it in there, just like that. I've got 1 left. So this one is going to be orange like this one, because that's opposite of this. So, and it gets folded away from the center. This is the center. So it's going to go on top like so. Flip it over, fold it down, and then fold it in half. I didn't get that quite at that point. Let me give it a little more room right there so it can fold in half without buckling. And there's that. Now, again, I'm going to have to trim this to make it go down into the little pocket. Trim it circular like that. Get it started, push it down to the little pocket, and closed. Okay, now, we know there's a pocket right there because that's where I just ended. I'm going to take my glue with my little precision tip, and I'm just going to stick the tip down in the pocket, just in there just a little bit, and just put a dab of glue, just like that. Come around. This is not a pocket. This one's a pocket. Put some right there. Come around, put some right there. Everywhere that you push something down into the little pocket to stay, we're going to glue it in place. Okay, that's those 4 places. Now we're going to turn it over. And this was stuck down right here. That's where that one was. As you can see, it pulls right back out. So that's where that pocket is. So we're going to lift that up. Put some glue there, come around, lift this up, some glue there, come around, in there, come around. Just like that. So now there's glue down in each one of those little places, so it's not going to come out. It probably would never come out even without glue. I'm also going to put some glue in these crevices right here. And that's just because this is an ornament that's only going to be taken out, you know, once a year probably, and put on something. So you want it to last more than at least 1 Christmas. If you find people that are actually paper worthy of your time to give them to. I say, you know, not everybody's paper worthy, but my friends are. They love stuff that's handmade. Okay, so that's all. Got a little glue in each one of those. Now it's down. Now what I do to decorate mine is I take a pen and I will go around here and do some faux stitching. I might even take some scrap paper and make a bow, a folded bow, and stick that in the middle. I might put a rhinestone in all 4 squares or out on the tips. And then just take the hole punch a hole in one of the tips, and put in some stretchy cord. You want it to be stretchy because if it's not, when you go to over time, it might tear the hole because it's paper. So I think this little stretchy cording, you can get it at Amazon. I'll put a link below. And then you can make a multitude of colors. You can have a tree that's all pink, or, you know, or just use all your favorite Stampin' Up colors or all your favorite Graphics 45 papers and make you a whole tree of just paper ornaments. But that's how it's done, easy peasy. You can make, I'll take one sheet, we'll make 3 of these paper ornaments. And I've seen people that actually take 2 of them and that are the same, but like swap the orientation, and they'll glue them together, and they only glue together the square in the middle so that the points are all kind of like, and they'll kind of do like this and do the points out so that it's kind of 3D. Those are cute too. So you just make 2 together, you put glue on the square part, glue them together in the square, and then just pull the points forward, and then you got a little 3D look if you want to try that. But there's a multitude of ways you can do them. I have actually taken these, gone ahead, put the string in there, and taken the whole thing, decorated it, and put it on the front of a piece of cardstock, and that was my Christmas card. So there you go. I hope it was an easy tutorial for you to follow. And if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't follow me, make sure you subscribe so you might see something else you might want to do. And I'll put the link below for how to do the fabric ones from one of my favorite artists. So happy crafting. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you in January.